Hi Reynas, welcome back to my channel. My name is Reyna. If you're new to my channel and you want to join the Reyna family, just hit the subscription button down below. It would mean the world to me. If not, no worries. Welcome and thank you for joining. Also, make sure you guys share this video and give it a thumbs up if you don't mind, or you can wait to the end of the video and see if you even liked it to give it a thumbs up to begin with. So you guys, Miss Universe Philippines is kicking off. MUPH season is coming upon us. I'm so excited. It is one of my favorite pageants. Maybe even more than Miss Universe itself. I mean, it's just such a fun pageant. I've been following it religiously since 2020. Also, side note, some of you guys have asked me to slow down the rate of my speech, so I'm going to do my best. I was a communications major. I do know how to speak slower, but when I'm on my YouTube channel with you guys, it feels like I'm talking to friends. So I'm not talking in the professional tone that I usually would if I was talking to an audience member. Formally, I just see you guys as my family. So sometimes I get excited and I just start talking really fast. And also my native language is really fastly spoken. So I apologize. I'll do my best to be aware, but it will be a work in progress. So nonetheless, I'm excited. I love Miss Universe Philippines. I think the competition is so fun simply because there's so many preliminary activities, to be honest, and that's really what makes it exciting. There's so many showcasing of the ladies, there's so many events, so many activities, there's just so much content. It really has a lot of content for us viewers, whether you're a pageant analyst or just a passive viewer, to really understand what the ladies have, and we get to really see some newcomers or dark horses and gain appreciation for every single one of the contestants, which I appreciate. I think they've already had around 70 or so contestants named. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that number. I think I saw an Instagram post about it, and that was a number that was thrown out, but nonetheless, I am super excited, you guys. But in particular for this video, I wanted to focus on four ladies that are coming back. Those are Chelsea Fernandez, who I believe was crowned Miss Universe Philippines Sultan Kudarat. By the way, I love that name, Sultan Kudarat. It just sounds rich, you know? Where is Sultan Kudarat? Is it in Mindanao? Okay, so anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Then we have Katrina Yado. Is she MUPH the geek again? I don't remember exactly. I don't have notes in front of me, you guys. I'm just talking naturally. And then you have Yllana Aduana, sorry, I'm blanking, who is representing MUPH. She's representing a city in Laguna, but I don't remember the specific name. And then you have woman Marquez, who's also representing a city. My roommate said it's near Manila's airport, so I think it's like, yeah, something fun. Anyways, this video in particular is going to be about Yllana Aduana, woman Marquez, Katrina Yado, and Chelsea Fernandez, and comparing these four ladies who have had a history in different respective pageant systems, from Miss Global to Miss Arena Hispano-Americana, all the way to Miss Earth, and just seeing who would be the best bet for the crown. Okay guys, so it has come to my attention that apparently that it is really likely that Ahtisa Manalo is also going to be coming back for this edition of Miss Universe Philippines. So I am separately recording this video in the intro because you'll see that I look different in the rest of the video, because I filmed that part of the video before I was aware of Ahtisa Manalo's potential comeback. So I was not aware that Ahtisa Manalo was going to come back. Yesterday I filmed my video and it was regarding just Kat Yagado, women Marquez, Yllana Aduana, and Chelsea Fernandez, and comparing the four. But now that Ahtisa Manalo is in the mix, obviously I have to talk about Ahtisa Manalo. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, so that way you guys can get my feelings of Ahtisa Manalo before I get into the rest of the contestants. So for Ahtisa Manalo specifically, we know that she competed at Miss International. She was in Catriana's batch for Binibining Pilipinas 2018, and she ended up winning first runner-up at Miss International, and then she came back to Miss Universe Philippines, where she ended up snatching the Miss Cosmo Philippines title. We're not going to get into Miss Cosmo too much in this chat. I know how passionate you all are about the results. But this is not about Miss Cosmo. This is about Ahtisa, independent of that. So what do I think about Ahtisa Manalo, and what do I think about her chances of winning the crown? I will add some more thoughts about Ahtisa relative to the other four ladies at the end of the video. But just here, I'm going to give you my overall general thoughts about Ahtisa and where I see her. Hold on, I want to take my glasses off because I actually don't. Better, I feel more like myself. Okay, So yeah, when it comes to Ahtisa, I think Ahtisa is a really well-rounded queen. She honestly has the potential to become a Miss Universe Philippines for sure. I don't think that she would be anything less but a good candidate. I want to say this because out of all the ladies here, I think Ahtisa Manalo might have the most diehard fans. And I think that anytime that something constructive is said about Ahtisa, it can be met with a lot of backlash. So I am going to say things like constructive criticism that I have about Ahtisa, right? But it's going to be constructive, not destructive. I always say it's not what you say, but it's how you say it. And I always say this as well. If you think that your if you think your sentimental favorite has nothing to improve, then why do they go out of their way to hire and pay a Q&A coach? Why do they hire and pay a Passerella coach? If they were absolutely perfect and they had no areas of improvement, why do they have a Q&A coach? Why do they have a Passerella coach? Why do they have a fitness trainer? Why? And why would the MUPH organization hire that for every single queen if they were absolutely perfect as they are? Everyone's perfect as they are, right? But it doesn't mean that you can't shoot for higher, shoot for more success. So when I say these things about Ahtisa, I need everyone to understand it's not me saying that she's not great where she is. She is great where she is. The thing is, when you're at that level of Ahtisa, or you're at the level of Catriona, or you're at the level of, I don't know, Shanice Palacio, you start to become more nitpicky because that's all you can do to go from great to excellent. Does that make sense? So when I make these critiques about Ahtisa, I know how many of you are diehard Ahtisa fans. It's constructive, not destructive. It's only my opinion, and it's nothing that needs to be taken to heart. I had to put that disclaimer out there because I do not want to get attacked. But anyways, let me just get into the video. So when it comes to Ahtisa, I think that she does really well on stage. I think she's a really good passerella. I honestly don't see much really that needs to be improved when it comes to the actual walk itself. The only thing when it comes to passerella, I would say, is during evening gown, the styling, I think there has been some inconsistencies with her styling, and I don't think that's completely her fault. I think that she just needs to go with better color schemes. So I'll say this much. I think her styling at Cosmo actually was a lot better than it was at Miss Universe Philippines. I'll be completely honest. Her makeup at Cosmo was really fresh. It was really glowing and youthful. And her makeup at MUPH did age her a bit. And I know that doesn't seem like a big deal, but it does seem like a big deal because it is a big deal because at Miss Universe, seemingly they're looking for that youthful glow that Victoria Shanice carried. That's kind of they're going for that va-va, voom, youthful type of look. So it's important that Ahtisa carries that through Miss Universe Philippines onward to Miss Universe. And I think their styling is only going to help her, not hurt her, right? The evening gowns, I think she could have had better gowns, to be honest. I did actually not mind her Miss Cosmo gown, but there were a lot of complaints from people that they felt it was unfinished. I see in retrospect how that could be the case. Maybe there could have been an addition perhaps to the gown to kind of complete it. But what I think was important to note is that the color scheme that she had for her evening gown at Miss Cosmo suited her, like the purples and blues and pinks, suited her a lot better and her skin tone a lot better than that maroon gown that she wore at Miss Universe Philippines. The maroon gown and the dark red lip, I just felt like that burgundy kind of color, I think it aged her a bit. But then at Miss Cosmo, she looked so youthful and she had such a glow. And I'll put somewhere here, let me scoot over. I'll put over here somewhere a side-by-side comparison of her look at Miss Cosmo versus at Miss Universe Philippines. And I think you're going to be able to see both in swimsuit and especially in evening gown, the difference in how she looked. And remember, Cosmo was after MUPH, so it's not like she physically aged, right? It's just the styling really made a huge difference. So even if you don't like the Miss Cosmo gown itself, I think you could agree perhaps, or at least in my opinion, that the Miss Cosmo styling, the color scheme, and the nude lip and the light makeup with the smoky eye, it just gave her this youthful but like sexy look. And I really liked that. So I hope she keeps that makeup the same if she comes to MUPH. And I hope that the gown, the color scheme is more on the pinks, purples, blues side of things. I think that it suits her really well. And her physique, she's a really curvy woman. She has a really great waist to hip like ratio. And that's hard, to be honest. That's probably genetics, a lot of it. So I think that clearly, if she was uncomfortable, it's one thing, but given her evening gown at Miss Cosmo, I'm assuming that perhaps she's comfortable with wearing a little bit more risky, sexy evening gowns. And I do recommend she goes in that direction, only because, and I'm gonna wrap this up because this video is not just about Ahtisa, it's about all the women, but only because she herself as a person is very soft, very demure, very mindful, very elegant, very kind, very Miss International, right? So I think that she can balance that out by having that fierce look, and it will kind of balance things out. And that's what I said about Chelsea Manalo too. I said Chelsea Manalo is very kind, very sweet, very cutesy, and by having a more like va-va voom evening gown, Chelsea Manalo will really, it will balance that out. So that's how I feel about Ahtisa too. She's a sweetheart from what I've seen on television. I mean, obviously I don't know her in person, but I'm sure she's equally as sweet in real life. But I think having that type of look will really suit her well. When it comes to those are small things. That's me being nitpicky. Now, the one area where I think Ahtisa Manalo actually can do a little bit of work in, and that will push her to solidify perhaps the crown for Miss Universe Philippines. And the thing that I think stopped her in the last edition from winning, because remember, Aduana Gray beat her at Binibining Pilipinas for the Miss Universe crown, and then Stacey Gabrielle and Chelsea Manalo also placed higher than her. I think Q&A. In fairness, Aduana Gray, I mean, and Stacey Gabrielle are probably two of the best speakers the Philippines has ever had. But same can be said for this batch. She's going up against Aduana and Marquez. Did you guys see Marquez's Reina Hispano-Americana interview, like Q&A? The woman can speak. She is a Marquez after all. Not that that means anything. I'm not saying she's a Marquez, so of course she can speak. But on her own merit, the woman can speak, and I don't think that I don't think she's regressed in her speaking and question and answer capabilities over the years. I think being a mom only progresses these skill sets, and so I'm sure she is training very vigorously, and I'm sure she's had this in mind for a while. So she's going to go up against the likes of people who can speak really well. Laguna this year, Miss Universe Philippines Laguna, she's a decent speaker as well. So although Ahtisa has really good English proficiency, right? Sometimes I think she needs to connect what she's trying to say. It's not even like the content is lacking per se, but as a communications degree holder, I think it's almost that she's not able to deliver it fully. She's not able to complete the thought. And I think that was the same issue that Pauline and Malings used to face. Pauline and Malings is a great speaker. We know this through her interviews. We know this through casual interviews when, hosts and social media personnel would come and interview her. We know Pauline and Malings can speak and she can come up with a full rounded thought, correct? But then when it came to going up on stage, she'd always be just like a hair off on her message. It's like something was just missing. And I think finally at Super National is when Pauline and Malings overcame that. And I mean, she should have won. We all know that. But anyways, that's a whole different topic. But nonetheless, Pauline and Malings at Super National finally overcame that. And she finally, I think, was able to really deliver a great content, a great full embodied answer at Super National. And so for Ahtisa, I think that's what has to happen. I think she, this time around, should focus on Q&A and completing her thoughts and understanding how best to deliver her answer. Nonetheless, we haven't seen the capabilities of all the competitors yet. So there's no saying if we're going to have a Rabia Mateo or Bea Luigi Gomez this year or Chelsea Manalo this year where a dark horse comes and snatches the crown. Because remember, Chelsea Manalo was a dark horse and she out-competed Ahtisa Manalo for the crown. So that can happen again. That being said, Ahtisa's fresh off of pageantry. So I'm not worried about her pastoral. She has all the skills to win Miss Universe Philippines, to be quite frank. It's just what she decides to do from here on out. So it's really up to her whether or not she wins. I think the only person who can stop her is herself. Not necessarily her skills. Because I think the Q&A thing is something that can be fixed. It can be trained. It can be worked on. I don't think it's something that she doesn't have, right? So, you know, and again, remember, Pia Wurtzbach had to come back 3 times before she won the Miss Universe Philippines crown, and then went on to Miss Universe. So everyone has something to work on, right? Okay. I literally just got done rewatching all their stints at the respective pageants systems that they participated in. So I have a very fresh vision and a very fresh memory of what each lady did, how they performed, and the notes that I took. If they also competed at MUPH previously, such as Cristina Yado, I looked at that performance as well. But I am also going to take consideration where they are today, because some of these competitions it's been a while. There's been some time that has gone by since they've competed, such as Women Marquez, for example. So, you know, although I can look at that and, you know, get an idea of how they may compete, it is different, you know, like Win has, for example, had a child since then, a few years have passed by since then. So, you know, I can't say with accuracy that she will be exactly how she was at Reina Hispanoamericana, nor should she, because it's been a lot of time that has passed. So of course, hopefully she's evolved into who she is today. But let's go on. Let's start off one at a time. Let's start off with Chelsea Fernandez. So Chelsea Fernandez, she is just a beautiful woman representing Sultan Kudarat at MUPH, and I think that she will do such a phenomenal job. To be honest, this beauty is just chef's kiss. I really appreciated her swimsuit performance at her respective pageant system. I'll put the videos up here. Hopefully they won't get copyright striked. If you don't see them on my screen, it means that YouTube told me that I cannot post them or I'll get copyright striked. But nonetheless, her swimsuit performance at Miss Global was honestly phenomenal. I really, really liked it. It was short. I don't think there was a lot of time for them to do a passerella. Nonetheless, the time that she did have, I thought she did really well and executed it well, and she looked beautiful, you guys. Chelsea Fernandez today looks just as beautiful as she did back then. So I am really happy to see that. I'm really excited to see her on stage. Additionally, her evening gown was also really good. I will say the only critique that I have, the only constructive criticism that I have for Chelsea Fernandez is, at least back then, I noticed that she would look down quite often to see where she was walking, or maybe her foot placement was during her evening gown. So I would just recommend that, you know, look up, make sure you don't look down too often. It's okay to take a quick look and check that you're doing, you know, you are where you're supposed to be or your footing's correct, but you don't want to look down for too often. I noticed that she would look down real quick at the end of the runway, make sure everything's situated, and then look up at the judges and smile and do her pose. Other than that though, and that's a very small detail, the reason why I'm being so nitpicky is because when you're at the level of Chelsea Fernandez, that's when you have to be nitpicky. That's when, if you want to go from great to excellent, you got to fix those little small details. And so that's why I'm being nitpicky, you guys. If I'm ever nitpicky about a contestant, it's not because they're not good, it's because they are good. And I think that they can be great. So now we got to get into the nitty gritty of things in order to elevate them from good to great, and from great to excellent. And so that's why I'm being, you know, a little nitpicky. But yeah, I think Chelsea Fernandez speaks well, but I think Q&A can definitely be a little bit more developed. I think I saw her at her most recent showing when she was sashed at her sashing for MUPH. She was asked why she should be the next Miss Universe. Now, I think it was a very informal question. It's a question that everyone gets, but because it is a very expected, typical question, I do expect the ladies to knock it out the park. Now, why am I being critical of the ladies during their sashing, even though it's not really a formally judged or scored part of Miss Universe Philippines? I will get to that at the end of the video, so stay tuned if you want to know why. But I didn't feel like her answer to that question was necessarily very thought through. It was very casually given, which is okay, but I would have liked to see a more thorough answer to why she feels like she should be Miss Universe Philippines. And I will get into why a little bit later in the video. Okay, so moving on from Chelsea Fernandez, I will tell you guys who I think who is the best pick out of these 4 ladies at the end. Let's move on to Win Marquez. So Win Marquez, wow, what a great addition to Miss Universe Philippines. How lovely is it to see her back again in the competition in the field of pageantry. Honestly, it is a good sight to see. It is bringing me back memories of Reina Hispanoamericana, and I think she was the first ever one to win, which is just such good timing because Philippines just won their second ever Reina Hispanoamericana crown. Oh my gosh, during Reina Hispanoamericana. Oh my god, I mean, what a Pinay beauty. Instantly, when I look at Win Marquez, I know I'm looking at a Filipina. Instantly. And obviously, the Philippines, like many countries, is quite diverse, and the beauties are very diverse, ranging from mestizas to kayumangis to morenas to chinitas. But Women Marquez is what I think that most people here in the US, such as myself, would see and instantly realize as a Filipina. Filipina beauty is, I would say, quite appreciated from an outsider's perspective. I can't speak, I'm not first-handedly a Filipina woman, so I can't speak on behalf of them, but I have always thought that Filipinas are just quite beautiful. I have some cousins who are half Filipino as well, and they are just drop dead gorgeous. Marquez is no exception. She truly is such a Pinay beauty, and that's what I love about her. Instantly, I look at her and I see a Filipina, and I see the Philippines represented in her features, and I think that it's what makes her beautiful. Honestly, it's what makes her beauty impactful, and it's what makes her beauty stand out. To be honest, the Latinas, a lot of them also go for the mestiza beauty queen. So when Asian countries also pick a more mestiza beauty, it just sometimes blends in. But when they stick to that morena, kayumangi, chinita, Filipina beauty, I think it stands out because it's not something that can be replicated by all countries, right? So I think that that is the beauty and the strength of the Philippines, is when they embrace those contestants, and Women Marquez embodies that beautifully. I don't have a critique for her evening gown or swimsuit competition performance or in a Hispanoamericana, and I'm pretty nitpicky. Like I said, the thing I mentioned about Chelsea Fernandez looking down was a very nitpicky, minuscule thing, but because she's already so good, I want her to be great. Also, here's my dog. Don't bark. No barking. No barking, baby. No barking. No barking, Chandis. Good boy. No barking, okay? He barks at any person that walks by our window. And yeah, so I think that, Women Marquez, she's just she was so good. I'm kind of refraining from saying she is so good because we have yet to see too much of what she can provide on stage now, or where she is with her pasarela skills. We saw a little glimpse of it at her sashing, but I still want to see more because I don't think that it showed the full aspect of her pasarela. Now the real question is, will she retain the pasarela style that she had? Because she has a very Trump era, early 2000s pasarela, I would say, and I love it. I think it would be unique to see that being brought back to the stage in 2025, and I think that it will really set her apart from other contestants. I don't know how the MUPH or the MU organization would view it, but personally I think it would really set her apart. So I would love to see her bring that pasarela back, but at the same time I totally understand, and I think it will also be okay if she decides to adopt a different pasarela, if she decides to adopt a more modern take on her pasarela from back in the day. He wants to bark so bad, you guys. Oh my god, he wants to bark so bad. No. I'm surprised he didn't bark, you guys. I'm excited to see whether or not she's going to adopt a more modern take on her pasarela today, or if she's going to retain her pasarela style that she presented to us at Reynas Hispanoamericana. So that would be exciting. When it comes to Q&A, again, knocked it out the park. This woman, I think one thing about the Marquezes, they know how to think through their answers. You don't have to rapid fire your answer. Now, some queens can. I think the Stacey Gabriels and the Catriona Grays of pageantry, they can rapid fire an answer. But I think the Michelle D's and Women Marquezes of pageantry, they still give you a very well thought through answer, but they take pauses, not for too long, but just long enough to think through the next thought. And I think that is really a remarkable feat that Women Marquez has. So I don't know, if she copies and pastes her performance from Reynas Hispanoamericana onto MUPH, I don't know. I'm not complaining. I don't have any complaints for that performance. And I think it's a timeless performance that can translate into any era. And I think that she has a timeless performance that can translate into any era, but that's just me. Okay, so moving on to the next queen, Yllana Aduana. So, Yllana Aduana. Wow. Like Women Marquez, not many critiques, to be honest. This queen is phenomenal when it comes to her pasarela. She has, her physique. I'm not a nitpicker for physique per se, but I'm not going to sit here and lie and act like it doesn't hurt to have a physique like Yllana Aduana's. I mean, Yllana's physique is just, to this day, wow. She looks incredible, you guys, and she's maintained that physique. I don't know if it's genetics. It has to be somewhat genetics. It has to also be a combination of her hard work and dedication to her fitness. But wow. She looks incredible, you guys. So intelligent. Her resume is impressive. She's a scientist as well, which is just so phenomenal because she's giving back to society through research and initiatives in this field of science. So yeah, I think that is phenomenal, and that she'll do a great job at MUPH. I saw her doing her sashing, and wow, that red outfit, you guys, that red latex outfit or whatever it was. Wow. She looked incredible, and the way she performed in it as if she was already about to go on stage was just like, woo! I mean, she was on fire, you guys. Her hair whip, she's just so another Pinay beauty to me, another Asian beauty. Instantly you recognize, if not Pinay, at least at minimum she's Asian, but I would know that she's Pinay just looking at her. But she's just gorgeous to me. I think she's so intelligent, and her Miss Earth stint was really incredible. She was asked some they're not like, oh my gosh questions, but they weren't the easiest questions. They weren't the most straightforward questions. They definitely were questions that required some thought. So we have seen that she's able to think it through. I will say, someone asked her why she'd be the next Miss Universe Philippines, and her answer was lacking a little bit when she was asked that, but perhaps she was just being casual and excited to be in the moment for her sashing ceremony. But nonetheless, I know through her experience and through her repertoire, her resume, that she definitely can speak, so I'm not too concerned. Finally, let's get on to Kat Yado. So Kat Yado was Reina Hispanoamericana Philippines as well. She did not win Reina Hispanoamericana like woman Marquez. However, she did compete and she did well at Reina Hispanoamericana, and she also got second runner-up at MUPH in 2022, I believe. So let's talk about her 2022 performance. The Reina Hispanoamericana, I'm not going to emphasize too much because it's not as up to date, and the MUPH one was more recent. So I'm going to emphasize and focus on that more so. And then I'm going to talk to you about what I think about her today. So first of all, this woman is also another Pinay beauty, another Morena beauty. I think that she is so authentically herself, which is beautiful to see. She's very cute. That's the word I would describe her. She's beautiful. She's stunning. But what I mean by that is her personality is very cute because she's very authentic. Even when she's answering questions on stage, she's very authentic. I don't think that she's trying to be anyone besides herself. And it's almost as if she's not on a stage, and she's kind of like, when she's on answering questions, she almost responds as if she's talking to like friends. It's just so cute. It's so cute. While it's cute, it is a little bit of a concern for me because it still is a pageant system. And when you are being judged and you are being judged by professionals, it might not translate well to everybody. Some other judges might want more of a serious take on the answer. So I wonder if Katrina Yegado's relaxed mentality on stage is almost too relaxed when she approaches questions and answers. So I do hope that as she comes back this year, or she's coming back this year, I do hope this year, if she makes it to the question and answer round, that she, she can still have fun, because we love that, and I don't want her to stop having that bubbly, lively presence on stage. I think it brings comfort to everyone, the audience, the judges, everyone, to see someone who is just so natural and comfortable on stage. But I do want her, when it's time to answer the question, to pull back a little bit and answer the question with seriousness. There's nothing wrong with shouting out your boyfriend or saying, hello, Marina. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's very cute and very personable. But then move on from that and get serious about the question. And so that's what I would recommend to her if I was to be constructive. Now, this is not me saying I didn't love her answer. I thought it was very cute. But when we're talking about cute versus like Catriona Gray level, Catriona was very authentic. Stacey Gabrielle is very authentic. Diamante we saw was very authentic as well. But we still needed to be a formidable, serious, thought-out answer. And that is where I worry about Kat Yado. I think that she struggles a little bit with Q&A. That being said, I did notice that she had improved a little bit of her English at her sashing ceremony. Someone, like the rest of the ladies, asked her, why should you be the next MUPH? And she answered actually surprisingly really well. I have never thought of Kat Yagado as necessarily a speaking queen per se, but she answered really well, and she spoke in English quite well. You could tell that there was improvement in her English. Now, I'm not going to take that one moment as a testimony to her improvement, and let me tell you why. First and foremost, why should you be the next Miss Universe Philippines? That is a question that has probably been asked more times than you can count. So at this point, every queen probably does and really should have a rehearsed, thought out answer to that question. So I'm waiting. It's hard to judge based on that answer and as like a testimony to Yagado's improvement in her skills for Q&A, simply because it's just too common of a question. I'm interested to see how she will tackle a more difficult, out there, out of the box, and less common question. Because then we will know if she has improved her English and question and answer skills, or if she has just improved her English and not so much the actual thought process behind answering these questions. Those are two different things. We cannot take English proficiency as a indicator or a metric of how well a queen can answer a question, because fluency in English does not translate to proficiency in answering questions. They're not the same thing. There's no correlation between the two. So while someone can improve in their English, as seemingly Kat Yagado has, it doesn't necessarily indicate that they have improved in their ability to answer a question. So I am impressed. I am proud of her. I think that we should cheer her on, and we should give her her kudos and give her her cheers and her flowers for putting in the effort, because it's not easy to get more comfortable in a language that you're not comfortable with or is not native to you. So I give her so much kudos for, taking the time and the gap years that she took to enhance her English skills. I don't think English should be a requirement, but we do know it is advantageous in Miss Universe. And we also know these translators suck. So if you don't have to use them, it is, better. So kudos to her for putting in the effort. However, I still need to see her answer a few more questions that are maybe more out of the box, and see whether or not she's using rehearsed answers to fit the question where it doesn't fit, or if she's able to think on her own an answer. So I'm waiting to see that. Now, before I tell you guys which of the four I think should, I think will be the most formidable for the crown, and why I think the other three maybe are not as formidable, I want to talk about something that I mentioned earlier. I want to call back to something that I mentioned earlier. Earlier, I mentioned how some of the queens did not answer perfectly, or did not answer as well as I thought that they could, the why should you be the next Miss Universe Philippines question. Why is that important? Miss Universe is taking a turn in direction. They are going to a more Miss Grand international type of approach to Miss Universe and picking and selecting their candidates. Pasarela is important, but I think that they're looking for brand. They're looking for branding, is what I would say. We now have to get to the Michelle D. CJ Opiaza approach of pageantry for Miss Universe Philippines. The minute you put that sash on, you need to be ready to be Miss, not Universe Philippines, Miss Universe. The minute you put your sash on, whether it's Cebu City, Laguna, Iloilo, whatever it is, you need to be ready to be Miss Universe. Not Philippines, Miss Universe. And that's just going to be a necessity. It's a requirement. Simply put, there is no when to peak. The knowing when to peak is the days of the past. And I'll echo what the Sovereign says, because I know many of you probably watch the Sovereign, and I hope that she's doing well and she's well in health. Stop the knowing when to peak. Stop the know when to peak method. It's not safe. It's a Russian roulette. You're playing a dangerous game. Miss Universe wants a brand ambassador. They now have a cosmetic line. They now have a makeup line. They have like a water bottle line or something like that. Now it's also going to be in Thailand. You need that Catriona Gray level marketing, that Michelle D level marketing, CJ Opiaza level marketing. I mean, look at what CJ Opiaza pulled off, and she only had the crown. She got crowned like 3 days before she went off to Miss Grand. So you have to have that level of marketing now. It's a necessity. Now, I know marketing is sometimes, and for some people, a barrier because of their access to finances. If you have a phone, you have the ability to market. The Philippines is full of talented individuals. Go find someone to help you. Like, I'm telling the queens right now, go find somebody. There's so many talented people. Like, I'm telling you, I do drag on the side, and I told myself, if ever, oh my God, I've been talking to so many Filipinos. I keep saying if ever I was to take my drag to the next level and go on a show like RuPaul, I'm coming to the Philippines to train. I'm coming to the Philippines to train and drag. I'm coming to the Philippines to get all of my social media together, to get photo shoots. I'm going to the Philippines to get my designs done. I'm going to the Philippines for everything because the Filipinos are just so talented. Literally, queens, you guys have an abundance of talent in your country and in each city. I don't know. The stereotype for Filipinos here in the US is that they can do everything. They can sing, they can dance, they're smart, everything. So I don't want any excuses. I want seriousness. I want you all to take it serious. So that's why I'm saying, when you're asked, why should you be the next Miss Universe Philippines, and you have that sash on, treat it as if you're on that stage answering the question on the Miss Universe Philippines stage right now. Every single question should be met with a formidable answer. When I watched Stacey Gabrielle during Miss Universe Philippines last year, every time that girl was on camera and every time that girl was asked a question, she answered it as if she was already Miss Universe. Every single time, and that's why I loved her. Every time. When CJ Opiaza is on camera, whether she's answering a question or she's just posing, you will not catch her lacking. Every single time. She instantly switches her face, gets ready, and gets in position the minute she notices that cameras are there. She's in beauty queen mode the minute she walks out the hotel room, I promise you. That's what you have to be. If you want to win this competition and if you want to win a Miss Universe, you need to start thinking like a Miss Universe, start training like a Miss Universe. So that's why I'm being critical of why should you be Miss Universe Philippines, and the answers are lackluster. And also, when it comes to queens like Aduana, that queen can talk. That queen can talk so well. So I do expect a high quality answer from her because she's just that good. You know what I'm saying? If your child was getting A's in math throughout the entire semester and then all of a sudden they got an F, wouldn't you question what's going on? Not because you think that they're not smart, but because you know they are smart. And so therefore, what's going on? So I don't want to see anyone lacking. Bring it from the very first day. Okay. And I have a video on my YouTube channel about what Miss Universe Philippines needs to do to win their 5th crown. So go watch that if you want to know more of my thoughts, because I'm getting sidetracked. Okay. Now, this video I don't have my glasses on. How long is it? It's been 27 minutes. Let's wrap this up. I have a nose ring, by the way. It's on a booger. Let's wrap this up. Who is my number 1 for the crown? Let's go. That's me trying to do like a drum roll. Like drum roll. Oh my God. My pick out of the 4, if I had to pick one, is going to be no other than, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to go with my heart. Yllana Aduana. Aduana all the way. Yes. And let me explain why. Aduana has had a recent pageantry experience, so you already know that her passerella will be easy to brush up on. She has a lot of sponsorships. She's constantly in the pageant community, so she's exposed herself to a wide array of pageants, and she knows also from a judging perspective because she sat as a judge plenty times in different judging systems and different pageant systems rather. So she knows from the judging perspective what they may be looking for. She has an impressive resume. She was also high ranking at Miss Earth, so she understands what it takes to train as a beauty queen. She looks like she could go to Miss Universe. If I had to think out of these 4 ladies, who would I be the most comfortable with representing the Philippines today? If they had to go to Miss Universe today, Aduana. Hands down. I know Aduana will do the work, and I know that she's so marketable and she knows how to market herself. She has a strong following already by the Filipinos. That helps. She will stand out in the crowd because Let's be honest, a majority of the countries at Miss Universe are North, Central, South American countries, because that's just where a lot of countries lie. She's going to stand out. Her beauty is going to stand out at Miss Universe. I'm telling you, we need to start, I said we as if I'm a Filipino. Filipinos, you guys need to start veering towards that Pinay, Kayumangi beauty, that Chinita beauty, because that stands out. That stands out amongst the sea of mestizas, to be quite frank. Hello, like it just does. She's just the full package as of right now. Now, that doesn't mean she should just sit on her chair and chill and relax. No, because you have 3 other competitors that I just talked about who are very good as well and will be right on her toes, right on her heels. They want the crown. They're hungry for it. Women Marquez, she's hungry for it. She brought Michelle D out to her sashing. She wants that crown, trust me. And one thing I know about the Marquezes, and one thing I know about Win-Win, she's going to put in the work to win-win. You see what I did there? So, I will say that much. Why not the other ladies? Let's start with Win-Win, because I was just talking about her. My issue, there's nothing really honestly lacking with Win-Win Marquez. My biggest issue is the Miss Universe organization themselves. We have already seen the video. If you haven't, I'll see if I can find it. It may be buried or deleted or taken off the face of the internet. But if it hasn't, I'll try to find it. We have already seen the video where Kun Ann has, the owner of Miss Universe, has already said that the whole mom thing was just a marketing ploy and that they'll never crown a mom. And we have definitely seen moms go to the top 5 at Miss Universe, but we have not seen one win yet. Now, could Win-Win be the first one? Sure, why not? But I think there is a very big barrier for mothers to win Miss Universe. Now, this is not my opinion. I think it is excellent that moms are able to join. I implore mothers to win, go out and try to win and compete for the crown, because at the end of the day, they are humans, they have dreams, and their dreams don't stop when they have children. So I think that there should be no barriers, and it should not matter whether or not a mom, a contestant is a mom. It should just matter if she's dedicated, passionate, and consistent with showing up for the brand and, being an ambassador for it. But we're not going by what I think. We're not going by what I feel. We're not going what my opinion is. We're going by the organization. So while there needs to be some strategy involved when it comes to picking a representative, it can't just all be, if we lived in a objective and unbiased world, then it's free for all. Anyone should be able to win. We don't live in that. And Kun Ann is the farthest thing from objective. Okay? Very MGI, very Trump era, very selective and particular about who she wants to win. I don't think she's going to allow a mom to win. Now, I think Win-Win Marquez would be a delightful beauty to see on stage. I think she could be one of the moms who will get to top 5. I wonder, though, after that, will they block her from winning? I truly do. So that's my concern with Win-Win, if I'm being transparent. Again, don't attack me in the comments. This is not my, what I think should be how it is. This is just how it is. Not by my own fault, though. I didn't make it this way. Chelsea Fernandez. Chelsea Fernandez may be my second pick after Aduana. My concern with her is her Q&A a little bit, so I want her to improve that. If she can improve that, I don't see any reason why she can't be a formidable, contestant for the crown. I think that she would do great. That's all my comments, really. Just a little bit improvement in the Q&A, and I think she'll be good to go. Yado. Yado would probably be the one I would be the most cautious about picking out of the 4. And I use cautious lightly because I still think she'd be a great representative. But I say cautious because I think she's the most wild card contestant out of the 4. We don't know. For example, her evening gown performance, she did the little hair whip. I know, a lot of people loved it. I know they did. I know it was her thing and it was a signature. Let's err on the side of caution when it comes to doing signatures, because it doesn't always translate well internationally. I would err on the caution of doing things that are out the box and have not been done before. Rather, I would say find something that's been done, received well, and make it your own. And we saw Dia Mate do that at Reynas with her turn, where she did kind of a Catriona Gray like hair flip, but she made it into her own and elevated it in a way that fit her. That's what I would do personally. If I was training a queen, I would tell them to err on the side of caution of doing a signature. So her faster love for me is good, but I hope she doesn't overdo it. Additionally, her Q&A still for me is up in the air. I'm still not convinced yet, and I don't need to be convinced because I'm not a judge. So she's not, here to convince me. Only person she needs to compete with is herself, right? But I still need to see personally for me to make to be like, yes, she's definitely out of these four, the one to go, should be the one to go. How developed her Q&A skills have, how far her Q&A skills have come. Excuse me. So, okay, hi, it's me again. So at the beginning of the video, I explained that I recorded the rest of this video prior to finding out about Ahtisa Manalo entering the competition or being a prospect for entering the competition. So now I'm coming at the end of the video to explain why I do not have Ahtisa Manalo as my number one contestant. Yes, even with the information that Ahtisa may be entering the competition, I still do not see, she's still not my number one pick for the MUPH crown. It is still Aduana. The reason why is because I still believe Aduana has the qualities of a Miss Universe today. I still think that if you put Ahtisa and Aduana at the Miss Universe stage today, that Aduana would be able to perhaps go a little further. But I think the two contestants out of all these ladies who are on the heels of, to be honest, all these ladies are on the heel of Aduana. What I mean by that is they're not far behind in my vision, in my eyes. They're very close. All these ladies are pretty close. But if Ahtisa Manalo can get the Q&A a little bit more tightened and the styling correct, I don't know. At that point, I have no idea, to be honest. And if MUPH is open to crowning a mom, and they don't see that as a barrier, and they're not worried about that as a barrier, Win Marquez might be my number one. Simply because if she comes back with that Reynas Americana energy that she had, I'm not gonna lie, you guys. If I look back at all of their respective competitions, if I compare Win Marquez during her Reynas Americana era, Aduana during her Miss Earth era, Yado during her Reynas Americana era, Ahtisa Manalo during her Miss International era, Fernandez during her Miss Global era. If I look back at them and compare them during their eras, Win Marquez would be my pick, because that woman was just charming. Oh my god, and what a P9 beauty. Like, seriously, what a P9 beauty. So yeah, but for now, at present moment, it's Aduana. That can change, and I will make update videos, because that could change quickly, simply because, well, there's a lot of time and there's a lot of activities that's to be seen. The reason why I am being nitpicky is because they all could be Miss Universe Philippines and represent the Philippines very well. So there's nothing else to critique but the little things now, because they're at that level. When you're at that level, you start critiquing the little things. When you're not at that level, you start critiquing the big things. You say, okay, well, their passerella could do quite a bit of work, or they could do this, or they could do, then because there's more room for critiques. But when you're at that level, a Miss Universe says, I'm great, but I want to be excellent. So that's why I'm making these critiques. All right, I love you guys so much, and back to my outro. Those are my thoughts. Always be kind, always be mindful of the ladies, and always be mindful that they may be seeing what you're saying. I love you guys so much. If you guys want to join the Reyna family, like I said before, please give me a subscription or give me a follow, whatever. If not, no worries. I appreciate it anyways. I will have a video coming out about the Miss Universe Philippines newcomers, or new to me. They might not be new to pageantry, but new to me, and who I think will be really good for the crown as well out of those. And who I'm excited to see, or who I think some dark horses could be early on. In addition to that, I will also be doing a live stream, I think this weekend. Let me know in the comments below if you want it to be this weekend or the weekend after, where we just kind of go over the Miss Universe Philippines contestants. Maybe I'll share my screen or whatever, and we can just go through each one of them together collectively and just see who we all like. It will just be a fun little chat. It won't be anything, I won't come to you guys with like a list of my top 20. It will just be kind of like, let's just all talk together who we are enjoying and who we like. and we can share our opinions and our ideas. And I think that'd be so fun. If you enjoyed this video, again, please go ahead and give me a follow. If you want to join the Reyna family, please give this video a thumbs up. It really means the world to me. It really supports my channel and it allows me to grow. I am here because of you all. So like always, I'm so thankful and I feel so blessed to be able to do this, even if it's just for fun. And it's all because of the support of you all. If you guys could share this video as well to your friends, it would mean the world to me. It's how I can grow. It's how we as the Reyna family can grow together. Maraming salamat po. Muchas gracias. Shukran, shukriya, tanwad, dhanyavad. Arigatou gozaimasu, shesheni. Thank you. And I love you guys so much. I hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful day, week, month, year. And I hope that your guys' New Year's resolutions are coming to fruition. And you guys have a great and amazing day. Wow, that was a long outro. Love you guys. Bye. Bye, Chandu. Say bye. Say bye. Say bye.